They say live television never lies. But what happens when the truth stings? On one seemingly ordinary night at The Tonight Show, a single line changed everything. It was meant to be entertainment, a quick joke tossed into a sea of laughter. But for millions watching around the world, it became something much more. It was sharp, undeniable, and unforgettable. Keke Palmer had just said something about Meghan Markle, a line that would ignite controversy, social media, and endless debates. She called her a Z-lister. Yes, you read that right. A Z-lister. Live. On national television. The question on everyone's mind instantly became, how could a joke like this land with such precision, such impact, and, most importantly, with such humiliation? Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Picture it, The Tonight Show stage, bright lights, cameras whirring, audience buzzing. Jimmy Fallon, ever the charming host, knows how to navigate these waters. He can tease, he can joke, he can laugh with his guests. But even he couldn't have predicted the ripple effect of what was about to unfold. And Keke Palmer? She strides on stage like she owns it, all confidence, all charm, all wit. She's never been someone to hold back. The kind of star who understands that humor is power and timing is everything. And that night, she was about to demonstrate exactly why she's a force to be reckoned with in Hollywood. Fearless, authentic, and devastatingly precise. Meanwhile, Meghan Markle, former actress, duchess, public figure of global fascination. Her life has been anything but ordinary. Every appearance she makes, every statement she releases, is scrutinized. And here she was, not even physically present on stage, yet the world's attention would shift instantly to her. Why? Because the words were aimed at her. The audacity, the precision, the social weight of them. In that split second, millions of eyes pivoted, questions ignited, and the cultural conversation shifted. Who was this Keke Palmer? Why would she target Meghan Markle? And more importantly, what did it mean for the reputations of both women? The stakes were enormous. And yet, almost no one noticed the subtle cues building to this moment, the tensions behind the scenes that would explode in full public view. Let's step back for a moment. Keke Palmer isn't just a comedian or actress. She's someone who has built a reputation on being candid, real, and unafraid of confrontation. She's the star who can tell uncomfortable truths with a smile, who can dissect public perception and wield it like a weapon. And yes, she has fans, but she also has critics, as any bold personality does. And Meghan Markle, of course, is no stranger to controversy herself. Her rise from Hollywood actress to royal figure, to public icon, has been anything but smooth. She has been celebrated, vilified, dissected, and, in many ways, misunderstood. So, when Keke's words landed, they didn't just sting, they lit a fuse in the global conversation. And here's where it gets fascinating. The timing. The context. This wasn't just a throwaway joke. In the weeks leading up to this Tonight Show appearance, whispers had circulated online. Speculation about Meghan Markle's influence, her public image, her presence in Hollywood after stepping away from royal duties. And Keke Palmer, astutely aware of the cultural moment, chose to address it in the sharpest way possible. But why this particular framing? The term Z-lister? It's not just a casual insult. In Hollywood terms, it's a career critique, a social ranking, a cultural burn. To be called a Z-lister implies irrelevance, a fall from prominence, a figure no longer commanding the attention or respect once expected. And to say it publicly, live, on one of the most watched talk shows in America? That's audacious. That's strategic. That's theater. Now, imagine the audience at home. The laughter, the gasp, the immediate chatter on social media. Within seconds, clips of Keke's words were circulating online, reposted, replayed, dissected. Twitter exploded. Instagram stories lit up. TikTok creators began remixing the moment. People debated endlessly. Was it fair? Was it cruel? Was it hilarious? Or was it something more? The beauty of this moment lies in its layers. It is humor. It is commentary. It is a cultural moment captured in a single line. And just like that, a seemingly small joke became a phenomenon that would dominate headlines for days, weeks, even months. But let's not forget the subtle tension on the Tonight Show stage itself. Jimmy Fallon, master of casual charm, had to navigate this carefully. One wrong move, and the humor could sour, the audience could shift, the story could spiral. Fallon's role was critical. He had to balance the laughter with the shock, the fun with the underlying stakes. And the cameras? They captured every micro-expression, the raised eyebrow, the knowing smile, the instant calculation in Keke's eyes. It was a moment of performance, of strategy, of raw human interaction playing out under public scrutiny. And yet, behind it all, no one knew exactly how Meghan Markle would respond, if at all. Why does this matter now? Because in today's world, celebrity interactions are more than entertainment. They are cultural currency. Every joke, every comment, every subtle jab is dissected, debated, and replayed. The public has unprecedented access to the lives of stars, and in return, celebrities navigate a minefield where one line can define them, destroy them, or elevate them. Keke Palmer understood this. Meghan Markle embodies this reality. And The Tonight Show became the arena, the battlefield, and the stage for a confrontation that, technically, never happened in person, yet felt explosive and intimate to everyone watching. And let's be honest, there's an emotional complexity here that cannot be ignored. Humor has always been a lens through which we understand power, status, and social perception. Keke's joke was funny, undeniably so, but it was also layered with subtle commentary on fame, relevance, and cultural standing. Meghan Markle, whether she realized it or not, became the focal point of a broader conversation about celebrity, media obsession, and the volatility of public image. And for the millions of viewers, there was a thrill, a tingle of voyeurism, a desire to witness what many considered a private dynamic unfold on a public stage. But what exactly did Keke say? How did she frame it, deliver it, and make it sting so precisely? And what was Meghan Markle's real reaction behind closed doors? These are the questions that millions are still asking. And the answer is far more complex than the viral clip alone suggests. There's history here, there's context, there's intention, and it all converges on one unforgettable Tonight Show moment. The consequences would ripple across social media, celebrity media, and the very fabric of public discourse about fame and humiliation. And just when the world thought it had digested the joke, just when memes were circulating and hashtags were trending, there was a deeper story waiting to be told. Behind the laughter and the viral moments were the real stakes: reputations, careers, public perception, and personal emotion. Keke Palmer, Meghan Markle, Jimmy Fallon, and everyone watching were part of a story that would not end with the final laugh. Because in the world of celebrity, one line, delivered at exactly the right moment, can change everything. And so, the stage was set. The lights, the cameras, the audience, the world. Keke Palmer had struck. Meghan Markle's shadow loomed, and the cultural conversation was ignited. But what came next? The social fallout, the media frenzy, the private responses, the alliances and betrayals, would take this story to levels no one expected. And none of it would make sense until you understood the full story behind that single, unforgettable line. But what came next would change everything, and no one saw it coming. Could you feel the electricity in the air that night? Because if you weren't watching The Tonight Show live, you missed it. A tension that no audience could ignore, a sense that something was about to happen that would be talked about for weeks, months, maybe years. The cameras didn't just capture smiles and applause. They captured anticipation, micro-expressions, the subtle, almost imperceptible shifts in energy that make live television more thrilling than any scripted drama. And at the center of it all, as if orchestrating the chaos with a perfect sense of timing, was Keke Palmer. Think about her entrance for a second. The crowd's applause was warm, welcoming, but Keke doesn't just walk on stage. She strides in with confidence that radiates like a spotlight of its own. Every step calculated, every smile intentional, every gesture conveying both charm and authority. There's something magnetic about her presence, the way she commands attention without demanding it. And Jimmy Fallon, as charming as ever, greets her with his trademark smile. But there's a flicker, a micro-reaction that even casual viewers might have missed. Fallon knows something's coming. There's a rhythm in the air that only someone attuned to live performance can feel. He senses that tonight is different. That tonight, humor is about to collide with consequence. Now, let's rewind for a moment and put ourselves in the audience's shoes. Maybe you were sitting at home, scrolling on your phone, sipping a drink, thinking this was going to be another fun, predictable segment. You expected laughs, jokes, maybe a story or two about her latest projects. And you weren't wrong, there were jokes. But no one could have predicted the seismic cultural shift contained in a single line. The audience was laughing, but beneath it, there was suspense. Did anyone notice that Keke's eyes flicked toward the camera with a mischievous glint? That she leaned in slightly, as if sharing a secret with the entire world? There's a technique to this. Humor is power. Timing is influence. Delivery is everything. And Keke Palmer had perfected all three. Meanwhile, in the back of your mind, you can't help but wonder, what about Meghan Markle? She wasn't there. She didn't even need to be there. The moment Keke uttered her words, Meghan's presence was palpable. Think about that. How does someone become the center of attention without stepping into the room? That's the strange, modern magic of celebrity culture. Reputation precedes appearance. Public perception defines reality. And in that moment, millions of viewers suddenly pivoted, consciously or subconsciously, to imagine Meghan Markle's reaction. Did she laugh? Did she wince? Did she even see it coming? Or was she blindsided by the viral force of Keke Palmer's audacity? And let's not ignore the genius of Jimmy Fallon's setup. Fallon isn't just a host. He's a conductor of chaos, the one who cues laughter, amplifies tension, and guides the story toward its crescendo. He asks questions that seem casual, but really, they are strategic. So, Keke, tell us about your latest project, he says, but it's not casual, it's a bridge. A bridge to what's coming next. Fallon knows the audience is ready. Keke knows the audience is ready. And in that moment, the stage isn't just a platform for entertainment. It's a battlefield of perception, influence, and social currency. Every camera angle, every laugh, every pause contributes to the power of what's about to happen. And then comes the moment that makes people sit up straight, lean forward, rewind, and talk endlessly online. The delivery. Short, punchy, loaded with meaning. The words, Z-lister. One word, two syllables, that changes everything. For casual viewers, it's funny. For the obsessed, it's devastating. In Hollywood terms, being labeled as a lister is the ultimate social slight, a way of saying someone is irrelevant, has fallen from grace, and is no longer commanding the attention or respect they once held. And Keke Palmer? She didn't just say it. She landed it. With precision. With timing. With confidence. The laughter rolls through the audience, but underneath it, there's a subtle gasp. A collective acknowledgement that this is not just a joke. This is a cultural statement, delivered on the world's stage. But let's dig deeper. Why does this sting so much? Because Meghan Markle isn't just any public figure. She's a woman who has navigated enormous pressure, global attention, and public scrutiny unlike almost anyone else alive today. She has fans who adore her, critics who scrutinize her, and media coverage that dissects her every move. To be called a Z-lister in this context is almost theatrical. It's a calculated jab that resonates far beyond the stage, beyond the moment, beyond even Keke Palmer herself. It is commentary on relevance, influence, and public perception. It is the kind of line that will be dissected by journalists, parroted by comedians, analyzed by fans, and debated endlessly online. And that's when the tension escalates. The audience is laughing, sure, but there's an undercurrent of disbelief. The staff behind the cameras are whispering. Fallon gives a knowing glance, as if to say, did she just do that? And Keke, ever in control, keeps the momentum rolling. She moves seamlessly into the next joke, maintaining charm and poise while letting the impact of her words sink in. The brilliance of live performance is that these micro moments are instantaneous.